All right, hi everyone. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Can I hear a round of applause for Medha Tai? I mean, that was quite moving, and honestly, trust me, when I say this, I was having goosebumps there. Initially, thought it was the AC, but no, it was whatever she was saying. Okay, coming to who I am, what I'm doing here, I'm going to quickly give a brief introduction before I start with my journey on the screen, what I do, and why I got here, and what drawing the decade for me means. So, what I do, I'm a designer, I'm a self taught designer, and I started off as a musician. Um, got on to playing music in different colleges, including this prestigious institute, and went on from there to get a job, and especially someone who's a college dropout, by the way, also failed in 11th standard, not once but twice. So for me to come here and speak in front of you, it's overwhelming rather, because I feel like, okay, this may be something that probably I'm out of place for this talk. But then again, I'm here to share my experiences. So I'm going to start with something. This is me when I was growing up. I grew up in a traditional Kashmiri household, so I'm a Kashmiri. My dad moved from Kashmir to Delhi in the 80s in search of a better livelihood for us. And this is when I was born in Delhi, grown up here in Delhi itself, and this was me in school, and obviously bad at studies, terrible at studies. In fact, I felt like, okay, when will school end so I can do things on my own? And honestly, I used to hate studying, and as much as I hate to share this with you guys, but this was something that used to give me nightmares. And I was always great at arts, and I felt that was my way out, that was my escape route into the world, sort of get away from what would traumatize me, which was sort of getting good grades. And whereas everywhere in your family, all the relatives, all the kids would had great grades, everyone was aspiring to become a doctor, engineer, and everything, like you all know, like how it is, the pressure. I failed in my 11th, like I said, and with all the luscious locks that I used to have in school, my relatives said, आप इसके बाल कटवाइए, ये बहुत ज़्यादा हीरो बनता है. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe they know it more, they're experienced, and really didn't really help. And that's where I thought, okay, करते हैं. And come to right when I quit school, and I started a band of my own. This was the moment when I felt, okay, there is more than just getting good grades, and there is more one can do with what their passion is. And honestly, this is what I'm here to talk to you guys about, is if you can actually follow your dreams, you can actually land up somewhere, something that you can actually enjoy doing in for the rest of your life, rather than doing 9 to 5. Sorry to bring that up, but yeah, that's me. When I started my band, I started playing guitars for a metal band called Phobia. And yes, that's me. That's the Zulface there, the A1 personality, and the guitars there, of course. This was my band. That's me right there. Let me just point it out. That's me with short hair as well. So correct, bas ghamand nahi hai. And this is me. 2009 is when I came to Chaos Ahmedabad. This is me with my band and some friends from here. So actually, this is quite a full circle moment for me to come here and give a talk here, because I remember sleeping in the dorm rooms here, quite chilly, but yeah, that was the band life for me, and quite a lot of fun. From while I was playing music, I was also making artwork for bands. So I was like, you know what, my band needs to promote shows. This is when I decided I should probably make artwork for just to promote our artwork. So this is what I started off doing. I used to make artworks. So this is all something that I started doing on my own. Started making posters for my band, made album covers for different bands. So all of this actually started when, like I said, I wanted to promote my band's shows. And soon enough, other bands came about, and they said, Aaquib, why don't you make artwork for our bands as well? And that's when I was like, okay, it's a great idea. I mean, I like art, and it's paying me. So in fact, this was the moment when I decided, maybe, one doesn't really need to get a job. I mean, the idea of a job is actually to sort of earn at the end of the day. And here I was playing music, making art and also getting paid for it. So I sort of in my head was already, feeling that, okay, maybe this is what I wanted to do. Before I proceed, I mean, I would also like to say that, growing up in a, Kashmiri household and feeling that, okay, we're in Delhi, one has to be wary of the consequences, be aware of where we are, and especially coming from a travel place like Kashmir, I always had this feeling that, I'd probably be joining my dad's business, and, that's something that I always had, with me, like, आराम से बैठ के बाप के दुकान पे गल्ले पे पैसे कमाएंगे बस. That's where I was initially, but then again this came about and I felt this is much more interesting, much more fun for me, and a lot more challenging for me to do. So this is, things that I was doing. I already started working with music festivals at such an early age. This is all this time when I was probably 18 years old, and while I was a college dropout, I actually ended up getting a job. So this job that I wanted to talk to you about is Rock Street Journal, that I started off as a graphic design intern. This is 2009, and while at the age of 18, when I was already feeling okay, second year of college, haven't attended one single class. I get a letter from the college as well, addressing to my parents कि आपका बच्चा तो college आता ही नहीं है, might as well drop out. So I was like, you know what, I think they are right on their part. So these are some of the covers that I had designed for the magazine. It used to be the most fun times because A, for me to play in a band, and then to be around musicians, getting to interview bands, to art direct shoots. So in my entire 5 years of my time at RSJ, I started off as an intern, went on to become the junior designer, then went on to become the senior designer, and by the end of it, I was the art director. These are some more of the covers that I designed. Other than this, I used to do the layouting, manage things at the magazine. These are some posters. Since RSJ was also an events company, it used to be great fun. And then, I could also sort of plug in my own band somewhere there, which was also a lot of fun. These are some festival creatives that I created. Again, for me, someone who hadn't studied design, to be able to do things at such big level, because these were big scale festivals that I was a part of, and to even, let's say, for example, interview bands and all of that. So it was fun. So cut to 2014, I got a new job, and this was at Scenografia Sumant, wherein we would design spaces, weddings, and all the fun side of events. So from being a graphic designer to step into the world of events and to design all these big fat Indian weddings, it was an eye opener for me, especially because I would be designing layouts on an A4, and then to sort of come to a space that would be 100 times bigger than your computer screen. It was a life-changing moment for me. So these are just some images that you're seeing. I also ended up representing Bharat Mata at the London Design Biennale, and which was great because we were the top 3 installations out of 37 countries. So this was something that we had designed there as a part of Sumant's team. So this was great fun. 2018 is when I actually got to start my own design studio, which went by my own name because might as well, right? So 2018, Aaquib Wani Design was born, and this was my very first gig as Aaquib Wani Design. I got to be the art director for the Ambani's Sangeet, which was Isha Ambani's Sangeet. And for me, obviously, to say that 4 years of working, designing weddings, learning about spaces, interiors, and all that, to say that, okay, this was my very first gig, I was floored rather. And these are some of the images from the event itself. What we were meant to design were these spaces for Isha's Sangeet. This was a bazaar. Can you imagine? We designed a bazaar there where people could come and shop. So there's that. These are some more images. Now these are experiential spaces. Again, 2019. After that one ended, I got another call where I was asked to be the art director for another Ambani wedding. Now for me, again, I keep going back to the same fact that I was a self-taught wherein I had no idea about designing spaces to even understand how softwares work. So all of these things, learning on them on my own, and to sort of reach to a point where I was designing all these big scale events, was, nothing less than a dream for me. Also something that one can also feel that, okay, you all can do it, right? If you have it in you, you can always do it. So these are some more images where I've been collaborated with United Nations. I've also designed installations for those guys. Then obviously there were more music festivals, because for me music and art obviously go hand to hand, because that's where it all started for me, and I feel it's something I want to keep doing for the rest of my life, be it working with bands, be it working with music festivals, DJs and all of that. So these are spatial design for NH7 Weekender, which is a music festival. This is my team, and some more of spatial design, experiential design images. So this was something that we had done for Adidas. We designed this space to sort of do an experiential event for a shoe which spoke about outer space. So what I did was, let's create a planetarium, and this is something that we ended up creating. We had projections on the ceiling. We worked with technology. There were interactive installations and all of that, so that people could go to an event and feel like, okay, it's not just a DJ playing anymore, because back in the day, what you would have was, there would be a DJ, there would be a bar, people clicking pictures, going back home. Whereas what I do as an experiential designer is for people to come and experience events, right? That's the idea. People come, there is something to take back with them, and not just fancy visuals and just have music and bar. There is more to it. So obviously, these were some more spaces that we created. This is a 8 by 8 room with just mirrors and these plastic balls that we had recycled to create this space around. So some more installations that we have done, again some more stuff. So all of this obviously has a lot to do with music, because like I said, from being a musician to be able to design all of this is something that is truly very dear to me. And it's something that I feel that it's something that I love, right? And as much as you all must have heard this, do something that you love and then you don't have to work for the rest of your life. I think that, as cliche as it may sound, it really holds true for me. And coming to the other side of it, which is style by the way, what I also do is work with local artisans everywhere from the country, be it a paper mache artist from Kashmir, be it a pitchwai painter from Rajasthan, or the Madhubani painters. What I do is, we upcycle jackets, we upcycle jeans. So these are some things that I've also worked with local artisans, wherein we sort of, have a team of artists where we create all of this. This is also a signboard painter who had made my studio's signboard. These are some of the jackets. Again, there is a story behind this. Honestly, I wanted to throw this jacket away, but then since it was very dear to me, I was like, you know what? Let's experiment on it. So I got, I saw this one while I was going somewhere. I saw this sign painter's number, and I was like, listen, do you want to do something? Why don't you make some flowers? Why don't you print my initial there at the back? And I had just posted this on social media, and all of a sudden, people went crazy. They were like, boss, hame bhi chahiye, humko bhi do. And that's when I realized, okay, maybe there is a way, because I felt that all these artisans were sort of losing jobs because of digitization, and they all felt that, okay, there is no need of painters anymore, because one could just print a flex and be like done with it, right? Even with painters and all of that. So that's what my idea was, to sort of bring them back, so that their art form wasn't dying. I felt like, with so much that's happening around, and then people with the especially these painters, because this is a generational form of art. And then I just felt that they ended up taking up menial jobs, such as it was quite heartbreaking to find out that one painter was actually riding a rickshaw so that he could make his ends meet. So that's when I was like, what, let's create something around this. This is when sort of okay, yeah, this is something that's very recent. We all got to design shoes for Rohit Sharma. This is for his own cause that he does, which is quite great for to be pushing that cause at that level. But yeah, that's the idea, wherein we all sit, we come up with designs, we sort of help these artisans create these fancy bags and all of that. So we can sort of create a business model for them as well, so that they are also feeling that they're not left behind. and they can also say up to with the trends and everything that's happening. So these are just some designs that we have created in the past. We've done collaborations with all major brands, Levi's, Adidas, and all those. This is something we've done for Adidas Originals. And also recently we did some jersey designs for Real Kashmir Football Club. So, bas gaman nahi hai. Recently, this happened earlier in 2021. The start of this year, Forbes had given me this title of Forbes 30 under 30. Now, for me to say someone who is a failure in school, also a college dropout, this is an example that I feel that for everyone who's in this room, that you can do it. I mean, it's as simple as that. If you have it in you, if you have something that you passionately follow, there are going to be rewards. So, I don't feel like, you have a degree. I'm sorry I'm bringing this out, but yeah, this is where it all got to me. There was a lot of this, a lot of, media coverage for me, all of that, wherein, for all my work that I've been doing. So these are things for all the jackets that I've been doing, for all the events that I worked on, and my heroes, right? So everyone talks about who their heroes are. For me, my heroes are my team of painters, my laborers, and all the people who work with me on ground level, who never get the due, right? Who never get the credit for saying, okay, they're the ones who actually turn my dreams into reality, because it's all fun to sort of create designs on your computer, but to actually go ahead and to execute them on ground level, they're my heroes, right? And what's the fun part? They always wear these fun shirts where they always have something quirky written on them, especially this guy that says, I like the sound you make when you shut up. So there's more. So there are always, I have a collection of these images of all my team wearing all these fun t-shirts, and there's already an Instagram page as well on this. So stop making stupid people famous, please. So there's some there. So I'm on Instagram as Aaquib W. Thank you so much, everyone. Wow, I can't believe it's 40 seconds still left. Anyone has questions, anyone has anything to ask me about my career, how I got to where I am, or what shampoo I use, or anything you want to ask, please go ahead. I'll be probably sitting here outside before I take my flight in the evening. So thank you very much. It's been an absolute honor. And let's hear it for IIM Ahmedabad, please.